Hi, I'm Bran, and I love Hallmark spring movies.
I'm Brian, and I like Hallmark spring movies.
I'm Dan, and I despise Hallmark spring movies, and this is the
Deck the Hallmark podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday edition of Deck the Hallmark. It's me, it's Brian, it's Dan. All in the same room together again. I'm back, everybody.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I know I was back yesterday with you and Alonzo, and
you popped in for a ride.
And I popped in for a ride.
Yeah.
But to be back here with Brian,
The three of us.
With Brian is the thrill.
All right.
Is
Whatever.
the thrill
That
I
means
search
a lot.
for in this thing.
Found it.
The thrill you search for in this thing?
In this thing called
this
life.
thing we call Deck the Hallmark.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Guys, how was your weekend?
Wonderful, Brand.
Good. Did you guys do anything fun? Any fun anecdotes you want to bring to the
You mean
table?
anecdotes?
No. I mean
Did you combine
artichokes.
Antidote and anecdote into one word?
Do you guys?
Anecdotes.
Okay, let's try this.
This is antics that dote on you.
Let's try this. Do you guys have any anecdotes you want to tell anybody?
It's good.
Thanks.
I had my youngest lost a front tooth.
Oh,
He was jumping on the bed.
hit
last-
him? No.
No. Come on.
Whoa.
Come on. He was jumping on the bed. And I
Right.
said, stop jumping on the bed. And then immediately after that, he jumped down and his tooth fell out.
It was a baby tooth, though, right? He didn't
Yeah.
lose it. Okay.
No, yeah,
All right,
not
good.
full.
Wait, did he fall or did he just jump down?
He kind of like landed,
Did he
jumped
listen
down to
and
land.
obey?
He did. He was
Did
stopping.
he still get money for the tooth?
The tooth fairy showed up.
Wow.
The tooth fairy did
Tooth
show
fairy
up.
always
It
shows
was,
up.
It was one of these weird things
Tooth
where
fairy
the,
doesn't care about disobedience.
No, he obeyed.
He stopped. He stopped.
Okay, I thought
The
you said
tooth fairy
he jumped.
did.
and
He
then-
jumped
He was
down.
jumping, and then
Okay.
I said stop, and he did, and he plopped
Okay,
down.
great.
And
Yeah, of course.
The
And
tooth fairy
in
did
the-
that
Yeah.
fun thing where the money gets stuck in the suit in the pillowcase.
Oh,
I had to help
man.
him find it this morning.
How does that happen?
You know, it wasn't like
Listen,
right
when
under.
the tooth fairy's got a lot to do.
Yeah.
How many people
A lot
lose
going on.
teeth every night? They gotta
So
go.
many
It's a
teeth.
weird job.
I'll
It's a
say-
weird job.
I'll say
It
this.
has to be done though. There are a lot of weird jobs.
Santa Claus gets a lot of love, as he should. But the Tooth Fairy is almost more impressive because night after night, going around the world all willy-nilly.
Yeah, nonstop.
A lot of kids
Santa's
lose
doing
teeth every night.
If we're doing this, Santa's doing every kid one night.
I know, and it is impressive, and you should get the love. But Tooth Fairy never takes a night off.
It's always night somewhere, so it's like around the clock.
It's
job.
round the clock, round the world.
Yeah.
And because he or she, the Tooth Fairy,
Sure. There
they
we go.
are serving the entire world, not based
International.
on people that celebrate
Exactly.
Christmas. More kids in the pool there.
That's exactly right. Because
So now I'm on board.
Because kids, who are there places around the world that don't do Tooth Fairy?
No way.
Come on, get out
No.
of here. Can't be.
No.
be.
Universal.
Yeah, absolutely.
What is the here in America the Seventh Day Adventists?
Yeah, Seventh-day
They don't
Adventists,
celebrate
yes.
any holidays.
I believe the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Jehovah Witness.
Yes.
Even the Jehovah Witnesses probably do Tooth Fairy,
They
right?
gotta.
I don't know. I wouldn't.
got
I'm
it.
not
Do we
gonna.
have
They
one
got
on the
to.
line?
No, we certainly don't.
Guys,
We do have a Seventh-day Adventist, though.
and that would be
Dale?
Yes. What's up?
You're big on the Saturdays, correct?
I'm little on the Saturdays.
Oh,
I
That's the-
Sabbath on the Saturdays.
You Sabbath on the Saturday.
Yes.
Sundown
So I do
to
little.
sundown.
I do little bits.
You do little.
Yes.
Then Sunday, you're wheeling and dealing.
yeah.
Big time, right?
Yeah. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Are you a car dealer?
Yeah, I am. I actually get a lot done on Sunday.
You do, I bet, because everybody else is in
Everyone-
church.
Not everybody else.
Streets
Don't
are
act
open.
like we're not up and coming.
Where are you from,
Where
Dale?
I'm from the Bronx. We're an up and coming
Bronx.
group. We're an up and coming group. People don't talk about us enough.
The Seventh-day Adventists are an up-and-coming
We're an up
group.
and coming group. You never see us coming, but we're up and coming.
Yeah. Do you guys sing the Saturday song by Elton John at every service?
Every service we kick it
that's
off with
awesome. S-A-T-U-Y
D-A-Y.
Not A-T-U-Y. Yeah, you get
it's a
it.
trap version.
Yeah,
It's a trap.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm
Nice.
saying. Why do
I didn't see that coming.
Why do all the non-denoms get all the fog?
Noms.
Get all the fog.
Yeah, why can't 7-day Adventists, as I like to call them, not get any fog, not get any light?
His phone doesn't stand a chance trying to understand him
so
out of the box.
Saturday night, let's get
props
crazy.
to our Seventh-day Adventists out there.
That's exactly right.
Get crazy on this Saturday.
crazy.
Oh, get crazy on the Sunday, not on the Saturday.
Yes.
But the trap version of Elton John is played at church on Saturday.
Yes.
To start the evening. Where is the line?
We actually
being offensive, or is this funny? Or neither?
Probably neither. But I will say we actually bring in outside people to do all the music so that they can do the work. We take Saturday off.
That's right. Yeah. You're not going to work on Saturday.
No, you can't do that trap song.
No.
You can't put on that trap Saturday.
You can't hit play?
No.
No, it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. We only do it live here, up in the Bronx.
Thanks,
in the
Dale.
Bronx.
TJ out.
That is Dale from our
Dale.
we have a high listenership in the
Seventh-day
Seventh-day
Adventists
Adventists in the Bronx
Adventists.
community.
Yes.
That's right.
And the Bronx.
I know we will hear from at least 2 Seventh-day Adventists.
I'm sure
and
we
I
got-
hope that they're happy.
I'm sure
Like,
we-
I hope that
Did
it's
'em-
positive.
did 'em proud.
Well, they're up and comers.
They're up and comers. They don't get enough
heard.
fog, as we say.
Yeah.
Well, I think what T. Dale was getting at
T-Dale.
is they can put on a show too. They can put on a show too.
They can. Of course they can.
It's not just
Only
Stephen
on
Furtick.
Saturday.
That's exactly right.
SAT. You are.
All right, we did
DIY.
the 7-day Adventist.
That Dale
We
got to
did-
check that off the list. That's
What's
right.
going? I have here what's going on with strawberries. Maybe we'll get to
We'll
the
get
bottom
to
of
it
that
later,
later.
sure.
You guys want to talk about pinch of Portugal?
Oh, just a pinch. Just a dash.
Just a little bit.
Oh, just a little
Just
something.
a little bit. It originally aired, can you believe this, on April 22nd,
Okay.
2023, and it went a little something like this. The movie kicks off with a TV show, Dining Dean. It's a TV show called Dining
Dining
Dean.
Dean.
Anna is a prep cook on this show and is just thrilled to have her name in the credits. Next stop is Portugal for the show. They're going to do some Portugal stuff.
Yep.
There's a cameraman named Russ. They're a little chummy. They have a little bit of a past. So things are serious. He's also an Aussie. Not an Ozzy Osbourne.
Aussie.
A Bullies fan, I'm sure.
Yes, I'm sure. When she gets to Portugal, she goes to a market to look for some fresh goodies, not my goodies, to work with, and hangs out with a local named Lucas. Lucas the local is what we'll call him. When she gets back to the crew mansion, she finds out that Dean is still in contract negotiations, so they're going to send Anna out to do some interviews and like man on the street stuff. I don't know. Our first thing is cooking with someone who owns restaurants but doesn't cook himself. He doesn't cook himself, or he doesn't cook.
Sure.
So it's an absolute disaster. I think that's fair to say. It does not go well. So they decide, instead of her doing the thing that Dean does, why don't they let her do the things that she wants to do to find her voice? So they go to the market. She freaking loves the market, and she's just talking food with these people. She's like going up and being like, Brian, what's your shirt say? Like stuff like that. Like it's a riot. People love it. Lucas shows up though at the market where he lives, it seems, and gets all flirty, and Russ is like, okay, we got enough. The shoot's over here. Dingbat. They keep recording stuff. There's a big cheese a thing that they do with big cheese.
It's a big cheese thing.
It's a big cheese thing.
Big cheese thing.
And the big cheese thing's a big hit. She keeps spending time with Russ.
Nothing on Saturday.
Nothing on Saturday. He can't even press a
Jack
button.
Squat. Can't hit play on the trap.
You
mix.
can drive to church.
That's right. Of course.
They keep recording stuff. Big cheese, I already said that. So she's spending time with Russ, eating ice cream, dancing, etc. But she keeps getting distracted by Lucas. Turns out Dean is out. Dean was doing contract negotiations, and they have stalled. So what are we going to do? Well, I guess we could just keep filming Anna doing her weird like interviews with people about their shirts. So she gets dinner with Lucas. It turns out that all Lucas really wanted was to get to know her so he could get to know Dean.
Yeah.
So she deuces out early. Lucas is the worst. They go to film and Dean shows up and he's like, I'm back, baby. And Anna is like, well, what about the stuff that I filmed? And he's like, oh, yes, that reminds me. You're fired. Russ tells Anna that she should do her own show. And she's like, well, who would want to watch me? And he's like, I would want to watch you. But that all means a lot to her. And so a lot of people start telling her that she should do her own thing, including Wednesday Addams' roommate. So she decides to go for it. And Dean gives her his blessing. They film a nice meal outside to like end the show, I guess. And it's very good. It's lamb, lots of lamb. She gives herself a lot of lamb. And then
chops.
Lamb chops.
The puppet.
The puppet.
Yeah, they killed the puppet.
Have you heard about Lamb Chop's new show? It's Lamb Chop's Lamp Shop.
No.
This is something that I've been working on for a while back here.
Ooh.
And
Lamb Chop sells
Lamb
the
Chop
lamb,
sells. No, it's not even a TV show. It's just like Lamb Chop's retired
and now
owns a lamp shop.
Sells lamps.
Different lamps in Lisbon.
Lamb Chop's
Lamp Shop in Lisbon.
In Lisbon.
Yeah.
Great.
So just kind of tuck that away for later.
All right, good.
So Russ steals her away, and I would classify this as kissing long ones. They long kiss. And that, my friends, was a pinch of Portugal.
We did it.
So he doesn't do any acting anymore.
No.
It's just a passion for illumination.
Himself.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about this movie and maybe a little bit more Lamb Chop.
Lamb Chop's a he?
Deck the Hallmark.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody. It's a 3-for-4 special down at Lamb Chop's Lamb Shop.
3 for 4. 3 for 4. 3 for the price of 4? That sounds awful.
No.
This is why you don't do this. This is why you don't do this.
It's time for the hot take. It's where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. We do not hold back. Brian?
Right now you can get 3 lamps for the price of 4.
Did you
Hurry on
hear
down to
that?
Lamp Chop.
No, it's Lamb Chop's Lamp Shop.
I just combined it to Lamp Chop.
Lamp
Yeah.
Chop.
It's time for the hot take. It's where we share exactly how we felt about this movie.
Bit
Brian,
that
what do you
never
think about
ends.
it?
Sorry, go ahead.
That was great.
Thank you.
That was
I
really
know.
good.
Brand didn't appreciate it.
I don't understand
But I
it.
Really
did
good. You'll
fully.
hear it when you listen
You'll
to
get
the
it.
show.
Great.
Maybe later.
So, needless to say, I want to get this out of the way up front.
Okay.
I wanted more cooking. I like to see how stuff
How?
is done. I like to
This movie was
see.
all cooking.
It wasn't all cooking. It was like
more cooking.
putting stuff together and like trying ingredients. I wanted them in the kitchen. Like I like watching the band practice. I like watching the dance practice. It's a me thing. I would just rather see them in the kitchen, like combining ingredients, tasting.
He's a
doing
real
the thing.
dean. He's a real dean.
It's right.
Stay
It's like
in
to
the
be in the kitchen. So I just want, but I'm not holding that against anybody. It doesn't, blur my take. Yeah,
Sure. It's
exactly.
good. Easy
It's just
for you to
something
say.
that I just was on my mind, like the lamb chop in the back of your head.
Yeah.
I just had to get it out.
Yep.
Beautiful scenery, beautifully shot. Obviously, I thought it was a pretty good idea for a story. The star of a show taking off and she picks up the pieces. I actually felt like I was watching a cooking show a little bit when they were moseying around making fun of people's shirts.
Yeah. What's that shirt about?
So I felt for a minute there, I was like, wow, they actually captured kind of like a show within a show a little bit, which was nice. I related to Heather Hammond's character, Anna, about not feeling comfortable in the spotlight. You guys are very natural performers. I am not.
No,
I'm better
Brian,
with
stop it, Brian.
props, better with information, better with like something else to point at. So I could relate to her having.
You're the
being-
Seventh-day Adventist of Deck the
You
Hallmark.
know that he just did a Dale is the Seventh-day Adventist and Lamb Chop's Lamp Shop bit, and you're saying that
Yeah, a performer.
Okay, all right,
Performer.
great.
A professional in his trade.
Thank you.
craft. So that was something about this that I liked that brings
When
somebody
you're
to
on,
the
you're
front.
on.
Yeah, obviously. My favorite part was the minuscule portion where we got Dean. I almost said Dale. Dean and Anna head to head when he shows up.
Couldn't afford Dale.
And I was like, that's the
Filmed it on a
dynamic.
Saturday.
On a Saturday. They probably shot on a Saturday. That was the problem. So that I liked a lot. And when they put those two on screen and they were kind of going head to head, I'm like, I wanted more of that interaction, that scenario of them kind of battling out. We didn't get a lot of it. And Dean turned his heart over pretty quick and became a fan.
Yes.
I was hoping for a little more like of the.
Well, when you wait until the last 10 minutes
it was a
to bring him in,
12-minute arc.
it's tough.
There's nothing we could do.
Yes,
It's tough.
So I was like, the thing that came to mind was like somebody, like say if somebody's out sick and then they come in the next day and they want first chair tuba, for example,
Right.
and they say, hey, we're going to battle this out.
Well, she had first chair
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
right.
and I took it from her while she was sick.
Sick. That's right. McNasty. on
She
the
earned
tuba.
it back.
She earned fair and square.
Fair and square.
There was a
Shout
lot
out to
of
Rianne.
there was a lot of talking on the phone. For some reason, I feel like this movie had more talking on the phone than most. I feel like
I think we're so used to them doing a lot of FaceTime, and this
Yes.
movie stayed away from FaceTime.
yeah, it was phone calls, almost exclusively phone calls.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it's so weird that they're on the phone so much. So that was just something that popped out. Overall, it was okay for me. It wasn't like offensive in a lot of ways. The one thing that bothered me throughout, I will get to in my wait what's, but it didn't have me jumping up and down. It didn't have me jumping in the kitchen to cook. It also didn't have me falling asleep in my chair. So it was just okay for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Brian. I think that there's a lot about this movie that on its own is good. Like the premise, I agree. I like that a lot. Her having a prior thing with Russ, and then this new guy's coming, that love triangle with somebody who she's already kind of had, like at least she liked him. I like that. I just felt like it was a bit on the clumsy side as far as putting it all together to work. I felt like all of the players were fine. It just felt like it just was a little bit clumsy when we bring all of the pieces together. And there's some things that I'm sure we'll talk about in the way what that prove that clumsiness. But overall, really like the story. I found all the actors to be plenty fine, including Wednesday Addams' roommates. Great to see her. So overall, a fine for me, but with a promise of real good. Dan?
It just needed some Erica Durant's, I feel like.
That wouldn't have hurt, I don't think. It
Never
wouldn't have hurt.
does.
But if we don't have the great things to say, let's just
Yeah, of
not.
course. Listen, you have all the makings here for a really solid entry into a Hallmark spring movie, and it just this movie is trying to let you know that all the ingredients are there for her to have a show, and it all comes together. This doesn't all come together. First of all, I think it's because she has way better chemistry with the Lucas character. I think the Russ character look, the dude's attractive and he's Australian, but he and Heather Hemmings don't have good chemistry. Mm-hmm. It's like every time he's talking to her, she looks uncomfortable. Whereas the Lucas character, she has good chemistry with him, and they don't spend enough time doing anything very well in the movie. Portugal looks great. I like Heather Hemmings. The movie, unfortunately, was just kind of boring and not good. And it felt like it should have been good. Everything about it felt good, and it just never gets over the hump to be good. And so, maybe Durant's would have gotten there. There's no way we will ever know at this point.
Shout out to Portugal, though.
Shout out.
Let's get to all the feels. We're talking about what gave us those feels in those movies. Brian, any Portugal feels or feels of a similar sort?
You nailed it there, Bran.
Thanks.
You nailed it there because the feels, the almost too obvious feels, is Lisbon in Portugal. And so I'm not going to use that as my feels because that's obviously that gets the feels. It was beautiful there. My big feels was when she was in her room, she was looking at pictures of her in the market, and it sort of dawned on her that what her show should be. She's not doing Dean's show. And she got this revelation about how her show should come across and where she shines. And so that moment kind of spoke to me. I was like, I've had that feeling where something just, you snap, like it fits into place for you all of a sudden. Like you figure it out, you know,
Right.
you have there's this messy puzzle in your mind. You're trying to figure out a problem and it all comes together. And so that moment I thought was a really good representation of how that can happen, you know, and she's under a lot of pressure in this situation and she doesn't want to do it really. And so then she realizes, has this big aha moment. This is how I should do this. And then they go. And so I thought that was a pretty good moment they captured.
I think you're a pretty good moment.
Wow.
Thanks.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Was that your feels?
No.
Okay.
So this feels is connected to a feels that I had yesterday. Let me explain.
Sure, please.
In this movie, Russ and Anna dance in a courtyard. There's some music and there's a few couples dancing, and that was all fine and dandy. But it reminded me of what took place yesterday, and it's something that I love whenever I get to see it. I was at a Sierra Nevada in Asheville, and there was a band playing, and they were playing a song, and this couple got up and they spontaneously started dancing together in a way that only the people with some liquid courage danced with each other, and it was wonderful. And anytime I get to see that, it makes me so happy. The way in which people dance and love each other and have this moment where there's people around, but for that 1 to 2 minutes is just them. And it's pure and it's wonderful. And so what I saw in this movie reminded me of that feels from
Even though she
yesterday.
walks away from him mid-dance.
Yeah, that was different than yesterday.
Sure.
They finished the dance
They
yesterday.
finished the dance.
Dan?
Yeah, I mean, if Portugal, here's why Portugal isn't one for me, is I think Portugal is beautiful, and the little I saw of it is beautiful, but I got to watch another movie this weekend, which I think we may review in May, so I'll save it, but like maybe the best use of on location I've seen in one of these movies in a while, and then I watched this movie the next day, and it just, I wanted more of Portugal. I wanted more of that instead of what we got. So I searched my heart and kind of found nothing.
Ouch.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Is that
Unfortunate.
Randy Carlisle's Pumpernickel Bread movie?
No, it is. Yeah, I didn't want to say it. It's an indie joint that Randy's working on. Yes. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the Wait What and the What the Hallmark here on
Deck
Deck
the
the Hallmark.
Such professionals.
We are.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're talking about pinch of Portugal.
Just
a little
Just
bit.
a pinch.
Let's do this. Let's do wait the what. Wait the what. Where we're talking about 1 to 3 minutes ago. Wait what? And I'll start with you, Brian.
Okay. My big hang up with this movie.
Okay, here it comes.
And let me know if I'm stepping on any toes here.
Oh, no.
Mid-season contract negotiations for a travel cooking show that is still currently filming a season.
Stupid.
Like he's in contract, obviously.
Yeah.
He's in a contract filming a season and he's negotiating for a contract. I'm assuming usually you negotiate for future seasons. So he's in breach of contract because he stopped showing up.
I mean, I think that this has probably happened on occasion in television where someone's been like, I know it, like in sports it happens all the time.
Yeah, you lose him. Yeah.
You hold out when you want a new
Yeah.
deal. And so maybe that's happening, but that's a stretch, especially on a cooking show like
a cooking
this
show that's a travel show. Like it feels
when
like
you have
almost
to film all the episodes before the season starts.
Yeah, it's like almost at all costs you either get the negotiation done, pause the production, and
Yes.
do that stuff, or just say, oh, forget it, we're not working
you
with
don't
you.
send everybody out
Yes.
there and wait to see if
Yes.
he's going to show up.
So the whole time I'm just thinking like they're spending too much time producing a show
That won't air.
Exactly. Like this is pointless.
Yes.
Either make the switch or cut, like call it off. So that drove me nuts. At the market, she calls eggs, and I quote, "the freshest, most stunning eggs."
These eggs are the freshest,
most stunning eggs.
They've egged better than anyone's ever egged before.
And I paused it. I'm like, the only way an egg is not fresh and stunning is if it's like gone bad. Otherwise, an egg is just an egg. Like
That's right.
You're not going to be able to tell the
Brian.
difference. Yeah, you can't tell the difference between.
People are the
they're
egg
gonna
community
riot
is
here?
going
Egg
Do you
to.
think we'll get a contact form about how we talk about eggs?
Yes.
I hope not. We should just stop talking about it then if we don't have anything good to say about eggs. So that was just, I thought that was hilarious. During the walk and talk with cameraman Russ, she wanted to dance. right, as people do. And so she threw out their
Yeah.
gelato.
This is number one, gang.
Come on.
I got to be honest. If anybody takes any
Out of
sort
your
of ice
hands.
cream cone out of my hand and throws it away, that entire encounter is over.
That's it.
That's it. It's done. I have no more to say
Are
to
you
you.
kidding me?
I have no more time for you.
Bold.
And we will talk again never.
Yeah, we have a professional relationship only.
That's right. Yes, that is it. At best. It may not even be professional.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine getting
Take it out of your
gelato
hands.
in Portugal?
In Portugal.
And someone just ripping it out of your hands and throwing it away?
I'm like, all right, was she going to put it on something? Is she handing it to people? No,
No.
in the trash.
It is one of the biggest what's of the since we've been doing this show.
Unbelievable.
It is just unconscionable.
What a
You
choice.
can't do it.
And the last one I had was a video village on a dock, which seemed irresponsible
At best.
at best,
At
and
best.
it was just impossible.
Impossible.
So,
That's exactly right. We were like, what are they possibly looking at
yeah.
right there?
And over to you, Brandon.
I got a couple. Russ, the camera guy, just yells cut because he doesn't like seeing Anna and Lucas talking to each other. And that's not your job.
No.
You can't just yell cut as if you're the director. But he does, and that's fine. Am I supposed to, is this correct that if Dean was there, they would have just stayed in a kitchen inside the entire time
That
in
was
Portugal?
one of mine.
Is
That's
that right?
They were going to travel
he doesn't do
all
this.
the way to
That's
Portugal to stay in the kitchen.
That's right.
He doesn't do on location shirt commentary.
That's right.
What? So why'd they go?
Why'd they go there? Speaking of Portugal and the location, does this entire I mentioned it in the synopsis, but does this entire crew just stay at one mansion where it's just them? It's just
I think
them.
that might be just a cheaper way to do it.
Okay, good for them. It's like
we're
us going to
we're out
Kansas
of
City,
Kansas City.
Airbnb.
Right. Get a
And
whole
it's like,
mansion.
yeah, we're getting a mansion.
Airbnb it out.
Obviously.
An Overland Park mansion.
There was some odd
Son of
dialogue.
life.
There was some odd dialogue in this movie, as you mentioned with the egg talk. But none,
Go ahead.
none more than talking about wine and saying this line: "What an intoxicating whiff!"
I did see
What?
Intoxicating Whiff live.
Was it intoxicating?
Yeah, it was something.
What?
It probably
And
made
then-
you dance. It was so intoxicating.
Yeah,
What an intoxicating whiff!
terrible line. Terrible line.
I don't like it.
Real bad.
Maybe feel weird. Maybe feel weird. Dano?
The first time we go to the Portuguese market, it is just filled with white people. These people could not be less Portuguese, and all of them. Like all of them. And I don't know if we brought our own background actors to Portugal. I don't know what's going on there, but it was a weird choice. It's one thing to film the show without him, which I don't think they would do. But to do that and then basically just make it a different show was the part of it
Where
that
they
I didn't
show off
understand.
Portugal.
It's like, hey, Dean wants to be in the kitchen. He cooks. He has a sous chef. We're going to make the sous chef the host. She's not going to have a sous chef. And instead of cooking, she's basically just going to walk around the markets and talk to people about their ingredients. Those two shows aren't the same. If the producer's whole thing is the show's got to go on, we got to keep filming, then you have to film it the way that Dean would do it. Like you don't film just whatever you want and be like, hey, like imagine if you tuned in for another episode of, Guy Fieri's Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives, and it's just like Bran in a kitchen with a chef's hat on, and he doesn't talk about any cheeseburgers or deep fried anything. He just cooks you the one thing he knows how to make in an air fryer. And that's it. That's the whole show. You can't do that. That's not how TV works. If contract negotiations are going on, you can't just make a different show.
Thanks for giving that idea away for free.
Call
Dan.
it the
I've been
same
working on
show.
that for a long time, and you gave it away for
I'm
free.
sorry, Bran. I'm sorry. There is a terribly bad screw up with the editing in this movie when they go to get the pineapple drinks. So bad that I rewound it and watched it again and cringed even further. They get the pineapple drinks and there's straws in them, and he is standing right behind her, and she goes to put her straw back, and her straw flips out and drops. And as she does it, she looks down and looks up, not at the camera that's direct, but at the camera over here, like we got to reset. And he keeps going with his line. Yeah. They leave it in the movie. They cut and go to him talking, and then they go back to her, and she has a straw
of course.
in her drink.
Love that.
And it is brutal.
Yeah.
Like, it is, if you are watching this movie, it is a real tough watch because she clearly is no longer in character.
Mm-hmm.
The straw's gone, and they just left it in there. Like, they just acted like it never happened, and they just keep moving on like they just were wasting daylight.
Forgot which show they were cutting there.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. I appreciate yet don't understand the I've never been on a boat in my life, so let's do a cooking show there bit. Like, you've never once been on a boat in your life. Not one. Not a sailboat, not a rowboat, not a kayak, nothing. And you're like, let's do a cooking show on one. I think it'd be a great idea. I've never been on one. Let's do it. Let's book this. And we have mentioned it earlier, but I do need to point out that the Dean character, which would have been a great addition to this movie for the entire 84 minutes, has a 12-minute heel turn unlike anything you'll ever seen. See, he shows up. He's awful. He says you're fired. And then 2 minutes later, he's like, you're the best cook I've ever seen. It is a
Make
whole
more
movie
room at the table.
packed into one act of a 9-act story for literally no reason at all. It is 45 minutes of filler and then a quick Dean storyline that should have been the whole movie. So there you go.
Yeah, agreed.
Bold. It's a bold choice. Yeah. I'll say that much. It's as if like you instead of taking 5-6 years to like be nice, you did it in the first episode.
That's right.
Like, no one want that.
No.
This is a slow evolution.
Yep.
Slow evolution. Let's get to the What the Hallmark. It's where we talk about any questions that we would have that we'd like some answers to. Brian, what are you still wondering about?
Yeah, my whole thing, my big question was around the show, and it seemed like they've been a lot of places because Anna mentioned that she's been to a lot of places because of the show. She listed a bunch of cities that she had been to, but also they don't leave the kitchen. So the whole time they're traveling around, but they're just in kitchens in Mexico City, in Columbus, Ohio, all these places, and they don't go anywhere.
That's brutal.
And then so going to Portugal, it's the same deal. Like, why? There's no reason to go to Portugal except for the recipes and maybe some restaurants and maybe some ingredients. Other than that, you're just in it. Like the show just doesn't make sense. You're in the kitchen show, but you travel all over the place. So the whole time I'm just questioning that. I don't understand the show. The show makes no sense.
Either you don't understand it, or it's just not really well thought out.
That might be it. That's an option.
Be it.
That's an option.
Yeah.
One of them.
Erica Durance is walking through that door, kids.
That's exactly right. Here's the thing for me.
Fix it.
The movie ends where they're all around this table, and Dean comes out, sits down at the table, tries to lay him, and it's like, yeah, this is good. Is that how every episode's going to end? I feel like once you do this once, you kind of got to... People are going to be expecting Dean to join the family table at the end of every episode and just be like,
Dean's seal of approval.
Is he like... what's the relationship like here? Because clearly he has signed off on it. Is he going to be like an EP on this joint? Is he going to be in some way involved? It does seem competitive in nature to what he's doing as far as his program. So it does seem like he might be involved in it in some way.
I'm just concerned. Anybody that can snap that quickly isn't to be trusted.
No.
So,
there's
that. Yeah. Oh,
Dan?
That's the good stuff. I don't think we've ever talked about a character more without seeing him than her dad. We never see her dad. But boy, do they talk about him all the time. Like, they're like, he runs this, it's a famous place, and blah, 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 and he's got to keep the power on. I just kept thinking we were going to see this guy. Like, clearly he had a big influence on her life, and he's alive, and they just chose to never cast anyone to play the dad.
For a second, I thought Dean was her dad.
The mom is just there going, well, your dad's working, and you never see the guy. Not once all movie. It's a real Dr. John situation.
Yeah.
Like, you never see. I just kept thinking like the dad's going to show up for a scene, like maybe get an extra, like that poor guy that had to walk her down the aisle. And what movie was that? Like somebody to play this dad that clearly is like meant so much to her, and we just don't see him. I want to know about him.
Hey, you see that documentary up there?
That's my mentor.
That's my mentor.
Anyway, back to our day.
Oh, an all-time great. We did, everybody. Congratulations. Guys, thank you for just obeying, listening to what I asked.
It's strong.
Listening to what I asked. What last week when I said that if anybody plays a double decker of the week, I'll do something. I'll light this place on fire.
You did?
And you guys
did say you would light this place on fire.
And you guys listened. And you guys listened. You didn't play a double decker of the week last week, and that means a lot to me. So we have one this week. Panda, you come on in, bud.
Come on, buddy.
And then we'll go from there. Kick it all away.
Double decker of the week.
Oh, it's great to be back.
my goodness gracious.
Another double decker of the week. Can you believe it?
Oh, my
April
goodness.
showers
Bring
are here.
me. We are so excited. Panda's back doing another double decker of the week. The part of the show we dive into the life of a double decker. Sign up for BrainwellJamPlus.com with a double decker tier or higher. Dan, who do we have today?
We're looking for Allison Crooks. Allison Crooks.
Oh, the Crooks.
The Crooksmeister.
Oh my goodness. The
Crooksy.
the stories from high school.
Oh, my
tell.
God.
You went to
goodness.
high school.
You guys
Yeah.
both class of 41?
Oh,
really? That's unbelievable. Allison looks great for her age.
Allison was valedictorian. Just,
Yeah, that's
it's sharp. She's sharp.
She's sharp.
individual.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it was World War II. A lot of people were gone. I want to be clear.
Sheesh. Send by
Missed
me.
that. Yeah, she's on a new reality TV show, and it's just
Fantastic. We need more.
yeah. I think this one has been captivating. I sat down and started watching it.
So it's already out.
Oh, it's out with
Wow.
all full episodes.
On what
streaming.
platform?
Full episodes. You mean all
Freeform.
episodes?
It's on the
It's on
Freeform app.
Wow, it's big time.
Right? I didn't even know they had
Big
their own
show.
platform.
Oh yeah,
big
no,
show.
it's
Yeah.
great.
That's great.
I binged
Can you find
all
it on
45
Hulu?
episodes. There's some problems with Hulu. There's some animal rights issues. I don't want to get into it.
With
Okay,
Hulu
what is this
or with
show?
Freeform or with the show?
yeah.
Okay. What's the show?
Her name's Crooks, Panda. Let's.
So basically, the premise is you start running, and after about a 3 to 4 minute head start, they open up a gate, and lambs begin chasing you.
What?
And your job is to try to escape the lambs.
Okay, what is
Is
this
it
show
Lambs
that-
Before the Jogger? Is it something with you involved?
What's this? What's it called?
It's called On the Lamb.
On the Lamb. Yeah, on the Lamb. Yeah,
That's
that makes
interesting.
sense.
This seems very much like a show that the title came first, and then they figured it out.
It
from there.
does seem that way.
But
what
It would
about this
seem
is
that
on-
way to me as well.
so every episode,
At
someone
what
is
point
running.
someone on the Lamb, though.
well, if say
Do they
no
ever
more.
ride a lamb?
Yes, if the lamb catches you, you then have to hop on top of the lamb and you ride it.
Boy, that lamb's gonna.
But they're big lambs.
They're big. They're big
Okay,
sheep.
I gotta
no,
be
no,
honest.
no. They're still lambs.
They're still baby lambs.
still a
Well,
little
but
baby.
they've grown up a little bit.
They're like what?
They're like kids.
Yeah.
Can I-
What's the middle part between sheep and lamb?
Packer. Squeak.
It's
Is
a
it
squeak.
Is
It's a
it
squeak.
Is it lamb and squeak than a sheep?
Yeah,
right?
it's a
yeah,
squeak.
I
Yeah.
thought so.
Can I ask you this? This show sounds boring. Mainly because so you start running.
Yep.
The lamb will never catch you.
And then,
Oh,
and then
well,
and
have
then-
you seen a
You
lamb?
get a 3 to 4 minutes head start. There's
But
no
what's-
way a squeak's
where-
catching
where-
me.
Oh, wait till you see an entire tribe of them just chasing after you.
Tribe of them.
A
Now
whole
we're getting
tribe of
very
sheep.
uncomfortable.
Tribe of Squeak.
I did see Tribe of Squeak live.
Fantastic.
Oh my Holy
goodness.
cow!
So you run.
Life-changing.
I just want to talk this through
Yes,
just for
you're-
I
you
know
can
we're I know
yeah.
we're up against it.
So right here on KT3, the Squeak.
So we run. Then in 4 minutes go by. So for the first
He
4
said
minutes,
3 to 4.
Okay,
3 to 4. It's real up in the
For
air.
the
For the
first-
slower squeaks, the
for-
pip squeaks, we give them 3
the
minutes.
first 3 to 4 minutes we're just watching someone run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they release
Now
the
there's
lambs.
fear in their eyes. Don't miss it.
Then it's the lambs. The lambs didn't chase you.
What are they scared of?
The lambs. Have you seen a herd of lambs?
A
Tribe of them, if you will.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Where-
We saw that one where they all fell over the side of the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
movie.
That was that
it,
Far From the Madding Crowd.
Yeah.
Not
What-
a horror movie at all.
But scary nevertheless.
It was definitely, it stuck with you.
It's unsettling.
Yeah.
But what's the point? What is? How do you
Yeah.
win?
yeah.
What's the end
Are
of
there
each
like
episode?
announcers like calling out the
The
strides?
person who gets away from the lamb the longest wins.
There's multiple
There's
people.
more people. Now we've done
Now
something.
we're talking.
You said there's one person out there.
Well, there
running.
is typically, they go in stages.
Typically.
They
What do
go
you
in
mean?
stages. What do you mean they go in stages?
Stage 1, you unleash the person, and then it's a 4-minute lamb.
Unleash the person.
And then round 2,
Have
you
they been
unleash
held
the
against
second
their
person.
will?
Well, hold on. Wouldn't the person who goes last have an advantage?
Not necessarily. Why?
The squeaks are
It's
tired.
like what's that show Whiplash or whatever water sport where they
So they're
go-
not all
they
going
go-
at the same time.
No,
Yeah.
that would be
Back to
chaotic.
being
Got
boring.
it. So you do what? Okay, got it. That's it over and over again.
Yeah, but I mean it's different every time. The path, the trail.
It's like a maze.
Oh, my
I was
goodness.
thinking of one big open room.
Yeah, he didn't
Oh
give
my
us
goodness!
a lot of the
No,
details.
no, no.
Now that
You're
I
out
don't
in
know
the
why.
woods. You're trying to
Yeah.
survive.
Yeah, now that
Now,
I'm hearing it.
I know we are up against
Up
it.
against
I don't want to get too bogged down in this.
Oh,
but
you should.
We don't
the part
do
that, the part that really I'm sticking on is if the sheep catches you, you have to ride.
You do have to ride it. Then it becomes but that leads us to the last
Are
round.
there
And-
saddles on the sheep?
The last round is rodeo gopher broke, which is the last round of it, and you
The
go.
last round of On the Lamb is rodeo gopher broke.
Yes, you get on the sheep, lamb, if you will, and
I don't like this.
and you basically everyone who's lost up to this point, all tries to round up the last contestant.
Again, that's sound. So how does?
So
who
if you're the
wins?
last contestant, you never get on the lamb.
You can never
even though
win.
You are on the lamb.
You are on the lamb, but you can never get on the lamb.
That's right.
But you never win.
You're the winner.
Well, I mean, you're the winner, but I think you want to go for rodeo gopher broke.
you want to go. So you want to lose.
You want to make it to that round, to be the free.
I got it. We got
free-for-all.
to. I can't anymore.
Again,
I'm too,
we're up against it.
There's nothing we can do.
Back to you, boys. Wow.
Oh man,
It's good to see that guy.
Yeah.
No wonder Lamb Chop retired.
No
Yeah,
wonder.
No wonder
I mean,
Lamb Chop retired.
Man,
Like we
I
knew
tell
it
you
was
what.
coming.
We did, everybody. Congratulations. We're going to be back tomorrow with another one. Until then, maybe the first of which you a Merry Christmas.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.